Welcome to SVG-TV's News and Sports for Friday, December the 13th, 2019. I am Bhavin Olvere with the details. The Board of Directors of the Caribbean Development Bank, the CDB, yesterday approved funding for the modernization of Port Kingstown. This project is the first of a two-phase program and includes the construction of a new cargo port and associated roadworks to improve access and traffic flow in the Kingstown area. CDB Vice President Operations Monica Bennett said in a news release that the modernization of the Kingstown port is an important component of the government's vision for transforming SVG into a modern, competitive, private sector-led economy. Bennett says CDB's investment in the port modernization project will boost the efficiency of cargo services, revitalize Kingstown, and enhance the business environment, while expanding employment opportunities and reducing poverty. The project is being funded by a $110 million loan from the CDB, a $32 million grant from the CDB-administered United Kingdom Infrastructure Fund, and a $43 million contribution from the government of SVG. Resident British Commissioner to SVG, Steve Moore, said the United Kingdom is pleased that the Kingstown Port Modernization Project will deliver economic growth, while supporting improved livelihoods, poverty reduction, and safer conditions for citizens, which is the goal of the United Kingdom Caribbean Infrastructure Fund. Government officials have been holding consultations with residents and fisherfolk of Rose Place and vendors in Little Tokyo who will be affected by the planned construction. They have also been offered relocation to safer, more climate-resilient areas. The next phase of the port modernization project is expected to an inter-regional cargo terminal and an inter-island ferry terminal. Sailors and yachties from France, Australia, Germany, USA, and the United Kingdom who participated in this year's Arc Plus expedition to Destination SVG were awarded last evening at a ceremony held at the Sunset Shores Hotel. Larissa Pugsley-Kidd tells us more in this report.
The Zaria sailboat out of New Jersey in the USA was the first to arrive at Destination SVG 2 weeks ago and received line honors at last evening's award ceremony. The sailboat also placed third in the Class A category, which was won by Spendthrift. The most beautiful sailboat was Covey of Australia, which placed second in the Class A category. Winner of the multi-hull class was the boat Ocant from France. The overall winner of Arc Plus SVG was Arantel, also from France, which placed first in the Class B category. The boats that traveled the longest distance of more than 3,000 miles was Santa Esmeralda from Germany. The Safety Award and Best Prepared Yacht was Cape Town from Germany. This boat had on board 2 children. Speaking at a prize-giving ceremony at the Sunset Shores, Minister of Tourism Cecil Says-Mackey noted the increased level of participation of boats on the yachts compared to last year and thanked the World Cruising Club for making it happen.
At the airport, so you can fly from the international destinations, you can come by yacht, you can come by cruise. We are happy to have hosted you here. Vincentians are known as some of the best hosts anywhere in the world, and I'm sure that you've realized that by now. Come again, and we're really happy to host you.
This year, 23 yachts arrived in SVG with a total of 90 crew members. There were 10 children on board who also received certificates at last evening's prize-giving ceremony. Chief Executive Officer of the SVG Tourism Authority, Glenn Beach, said that they are looking forward to more persons participating next year.
I must say it has been a great experience, and Natasha will say that it has been easy to work with Mark and his crew, and I have to give Mark and Natasha a lot of credit because they put in a lot of work into this, and it's greatly appreciated. And so I want to thank you all for participating, and I hope I get to see many of you soon. Those of you who won rum, enjoy it. And if you can't get any more after, more reason for you to come back.
This is the second year that the Atlantic Racing Club Arc Plus used SVG as a destination, and this year there were boats from 10 countries, namely France, Germany, UK, Australia, United Kingdom, Switzerland, Canada, Netherlands, Norway, and Jersey. For SVG-TV News, Larissa Pugsley-Kidd.
A stakeholder consultation was held yesterday at the Ministry of Social Development, embarked on a comprehensive review of the sexual offences provision in the Criminal Code of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Delivering opening remarks at the consultation was coordinator of the Gender Affairs Division, Lafleur Kwame, who said the consultation comes on the heels of an intensive 16 days of activism campaign against gender-based violence, which will be the focus of the next 2 years, as rape is considered to be a form of abuse committed to women and girls in SVG.
This campaign underscores the harsh fact that violence against women not only denies women and girls their rights, health, and opportunities, but undermines all national development efforts. Rape and sexual violence as a weapon used in gender-based violence is a problem that seriously impacts not only the victim, but also on the community and the nation as a whole. As a part of the 16 days campaign, activities were undertaken to heighten and galvanize awareness around gender-based violence, particularly around child abuse, domestic violence, and sexual violence. It comprised of capacity building initiatives with police officers and nurses, as they are key service providers under legislations, protocols, and procedures in responding to reports of child abuse and domestic violence. Furthermore, the campaign ran island-wide in communities, schools, and institutions in collaboration with the National Commission on Gender-Based Violence. We are here
Kwame said the government commissioned the review of the sexual offences provision in the Criminal Code of SVG, which discriminates against women and girls and other vulnerable groups. She also expressed gratitude to the Human Dignity Trust, the HDT, for its technical assistance on the project.
This was done so that our laws can adopt the recommendations made by the United Nations human rights bodies, such as the International Covenant for Civil and Political Rights, the Convention on the Rights of the Child, and the Convention on the Elimination of all forms of discrimination against women. This review would provide recommendations for reform to reflect international good practice on issues such as rape and sexual assault, sexual offenses related to people with disabilities, and age of consent laws. Today, we are here with key stakeholders within the judiciary, legislature, social sector, and civil society to share the findings of this review and the recommendations for reform. On behalf of the Ministry and the Government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines by extension, I must express our sincerest thanks and gratitude to the Human Dignity Trust for providing such technical and financial support towards this venture.
Christmas is synonymous with many treats, such as baked ham, turkey, chicken, as well as drinks such as sorrel, ginger beer, and a wide variety of alcoholic beverages. Director of Health Solutions Inc., Pauline De Freitas, is however advising persons to be mindful of what they consume.
Majority of these patients are able, to swallow, digest a lot of the stuff that's on the table. That's not the issue. Our concern is how much of it is being put on the table. So if you do have people in your family who are diabetic, hypertensive, or have a kidney problem, then make sure that a lot of the vegetables and the fruits and the desserts that you're serving is actually kidney friendly or diabetic friendly. When you're baking, make sure that you're not baking with sugar. Use substitutes such as applesauce and other things to give it a bit more flavor. When we're actually cooking the food, ham, chicken, turkey, whatever the dish is, then we encourage people to try not to use the bottled seasonings. We want them to be able to use fresh chive, herbs, thyme, all those natural herbs that naturally grow here. There is no reason why we can't be using the natural sources to actually season our food. And also watch what you're serving, right? Be very mindful of people that are coming to your house and make sure that they too also have something to eat, that they're not eating some of the negative impacted meals.
Reminding persons with hypertension and diabetes to ensure that they take their medication during the season, De Freitas also expressed concern about alcohol toxicity during the season.
We make sure, to educate them, to let them know that make sure you're taking your hypertensive medications, because obviously if you're going to be overeating and if there is a high salt content in your food, then your blood pressure will elevate, and if it does, then you got to make sure that you're actually having that. Then the same with the blood sugars. A lot of the times patients are very carefree during the holidays. The blood pressure doesn't know carefree, blood sugar doesn't know carefree. So make sure that you're taking your either tablets or your insulin for your diabetes. Okay, I think overall, we don't want to discourage people to not eat and not be festive and not have fun, but you always have to be mindful. Alcohol toxicity is a huge concern as well. If you're feeling that you're getting lightheaded, you have some blurred vision, irritability in your or an upset stomach, all of those are signs when you're consuming alcohol that you've come to your limit. So you need to actually push yourself away from that.
She also encouraged persons who are on dialysis to try as much as possible to stick to their regimen.
We deal with the hypertensive diabetic population, plus we deal with the dialysis patients where they don't have much of a kidney function. Their kidney function is very low, which means everything they're eating and drinking, that's also building up in their bloodstream. So we want to let our patients know, be careful what you're eating. We do have a list in the clinic that we give out some of the stuff that tends to come out at Christmas time, and we give them the breakdown as to what the nutritional value of it is. Dialysis patients have to be mindful with their potassium, their sodium levels, and also their phosphorus levels. So all these things. Some of them have a little remedy that helps them, where you're actually able to take a tablet, which kind of works together with the consumption that they're having, but some things actually don't, and the more of it you have to be mindful of. Fluid, the same. Dialysis patients are on a fluid restriction, so we try and let them know you've got to stay away and pace yourself every day and stick to your regime as much as possible.
Richmond Park became the second community last evening to turn on its lights for Christmas 9 morning celebrations, which swing into high gear this weekend. Area Representative Sinclair Prince encouraged residents to get involved in the celebration and continue the Christmas tradition in the community.
This is more than participation. This is where people come together in camaraderie to ensure that the culture remains. At the same time, to ensure that people are reminded for the reason for the season. And that's why I'm so happy that the church is heavily involved in this particular one. I hope that for this season, that you'll be inspired by what takes place on this stage, and that you'll be inspired to go into the new year with renewed strength and renewed vigor. I know I'll be here on mornings.
The opposition caretaker for the area, Curtis Bowman, said it is time to forego politics and unite for the season.
But I just want to say, in this season, let us put politics aside and remember the reason for the season is to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. And as you can see, Jimmy Prince and myself, we are united to let us enjoy the Christmas and all the best for New Year. Next year,
Richmond Park is one of the 50 communities nationwide participating in the Christmas Lighten Up 9 Mornings activities. Last week, Coles Hill on the leeward side of the island was the first community to turn on their lights. This weekend, the majority of the participating communities are expected to turn on their lights, including Point Village, which has won the competition for 6 consecutive years. The Windward community will also turn on its lights tomorrow evening. Hundreds of lights are expected to be turned on at the Botanical Gardens this Sunday evening for the start of the 5th annual 9 Nights of Light celebrations hosted at the National Parks, Rivers and Beaches Authority. Our news team caught up with the Communication and Public Education Officer at the National Parks and Rivers and Beaches Authority, Twanik Barrow, who tells us more on what patrons can expect for the 9 Nights celebration. Lights are an integral part of the Christmas celebrations here in SVG, as many householders and communities take part in the annual Christmas Light-Up competition. One location which continues to attract locals and visitors with beautiful displays of lights is the Botanical Gardens. For the past 5 years, the gardens was aptly named a Sea of Lights, and this year the National Parks, Rivers and Beaches Authority aims to continue this tradition. Communication and Public Education Officer with the National Parks, Rivers and Beaches Authority, Twanik Barrow, said the 9-night celebrations at the gardens has solidified itself as an important activity on the Christmas calendar in SVG. She said along with the beautiful displays of lights, there will be cultural and other activities activities fit for the entire family.
So each night we're having a different performance. That is something that is an addition to the lights, right? So beginning from Sunday, Sunday is the launch. Monday we're having a Battle of the Bands where we're having school bands coming in. On Tuesday we're having a dance night. Wednesday, upstage Christmas experience. Thursday we're having the Yulu Pan movement coming in. That's the Pan night. On Friday, that's our movie night, and we're encouraging everyone to come, bring your blankets, bring your pillows, and just have fun looking at this movie. On Saturday we have the SVG Drum Foundation coming in, and on Sunday we have our gospel night, and we climax on Monday with just having all the returning acts, people who performed on previous nights. So there's something for everyone. And I always say, if you're not, or if you don't like to wake up in the morning and you're not a morning person, 9 Nights of Lights is the place to be. We're open, gates open at 6:30, and we go from 6:30 to 10.
Food is an important part of any local festival, and Barrow said there will be many traditional Christmas treats available.
What's Christmas without food? People like to come, they like to enjoy themselves, they like to see the lights, yes. But what's Christmas without food? So in the gardens, night after night, we're going to be having our local food, such as codfish and bakes, modongo bakes. We have our sorrel and ginger beer, things, traditional Christmas food. So you can get anything that you want, even your hot cocoa, you can get that in the garden. And that's available each night. Okay, so this year we're having our Santa workshop, and that people can buy toys for those people who probably need to pick up a last minute gift. We have a Santa toy shop, and you can buy gifts there. We're going to be having face painting. We're going to be having dips and punch board and raffles. We're going to be having raffles as well. And those raffles, we have adult and kids raffle.
Barrow said the activity has come a long way over the 5 years, and they're looking forward to celebrate the 5th anniversary of 9 Nights at the Botanical Gardens with everyone.
And you know, if you think about 5 years, this is a milestone. So we're like I said, the lights, we have more lights, we have more entertainment, better entertainment than last year. Everything that we do, we went up a level. So it's our 5th year, and we really want to emphasize that. The committee itself wants to emphasize that, you know, it's 5 years, and we've come a long way. It's been a lot of hard work, dedication, and this is why we're here. And we just want people to appreciate our production this year. And you know, you can always let us know where we can improve, but we just really want you to enjoy this year. And I know that we have a great production. I know everything is wonderful, and I just want you guys to enjoy it. Vincentians, we're encouraging you to come out and enjoy.
For SVGTV's Evening News, I am Bavin Oliver. Meanwhile, curator of the Botanical Gardens, Gordon Shallow, is encouraging persons to adhere to the rules of the garden.
That we ask persons to adhere to the normal rules of the gardens, which is not to pick or damage any plants. Specifically as it relates to the 9 Nights of Lights, we ask persons to not tamper with any of the lighting units and fixtures. Enjoy them, like we have laser lights, for example. You can dance within the lights and so forth, and take pictures, but don't tamper with any of the lights in and of themselves. Well, it's at the 9 Nights of Lights, as much of the gardens is enclosed and it's a safe environment, we want to advise that parents be in the company of their children at all times. We do have a big pond, in fact two ponds in the gardens, and we wish not to have any mishap. Outside of that, just for general safety, you know, at night, you know, just be with your children.
Chairman of the National 9 Mornings Committee, Orande Bomani Charles, is excited to see the start of 9 Mornings across SVG.
Many of the community groups and organizations would be turning on their lights this weekend, and the Kingston program begins from Monday 16th, bright and early Monday morning on the 16th of December. The Kingston program begins at 4 every morning from the 16th to the 24th. Well, so far we have seen not as many as we would like, but we've seen some effort move in that direction. persons would see some of the buildings, some of the commercial buildings in Kingston lighted up. And we're hoping that as the season progresses, we will see some more.
Commercial buildings are still being encouraged to participate in the lighting up activities. Charles said this year a new feature is the Come Sing a Song competition at the 9 Mornings activities at Heritage Square.
One of the new initiatives for this year's Kingston program would be an initiative, the Bring Your Song and Come competition, that's sponsored by Digicel. And it's really an effort to encourage hidden talent in singers and songwriters, to invite them to write a song around Christmas, around 9 Mornings, bring your instrument or your version or even a cappella if possible, you know, and come and perform. We will be running that segment every morning, and at the end of the festival, the 3 outstanding songs will be awarded cash prizes.